Hey guys, and welcome back to another month worth of pickups and some other tidbits going on. This is going to be kind of a long one since July's been a pretty good month for me, so I have quite a lot to get through. I'm going to kind of run through this as fast as I can, and hopefully you can wrap this up in a short amount of time. First thing I want to actually cover is a couple weeks ago, the State Line Gamers Club actually held a swap meet, one of the first ones we had, and we'll probably do more. It went really well. We had about 12 people show, which was great. We had a ton of great games. A lot of people showed up with a lot of collectible, rare, uncommon things. There was even PC games that I haven't seen. Now, Maniac Mansion was actually on that list. Conker's Bad Fur Day showed up. We had a lot of, there was actually a full set of the Mega Man games for the regular Nintendo, which I never see very often. Some other really rare, uncommon things that I hadn't seen in a long time. There was even a Virtual Boy that somebody brought in for trade, which nobody picked up. But he had it in a full carrying case. It was steel. It was really nice. And he had several games with it. And ironically, somebody actually showed up with 2 Virtual Boy games separately, not knowing that this person was going to show up with a Virtual Boy. So it was kind of amusing to see what happened. Greg Hansen was a great host to us. Afterwards, some of us stuck around after doing some trading, kicked back, had a few drinks, and we played down the arcade, which was really fun. Adam, who works for an advertising company, actually made some really cool posters for us. He's got Arcade Impossible, and I don't know if you can see well, but Greg actually was nice enough to sign these himself. So all you Arcade Impossible fans, be jealous, because we got a bunch of these, and they're really nice cardboard stuff. So I'll probably hang this up too in my new retro corner that I built earlier last month. I might show that later. I'm still kind of working on it, getting it kind of put together and getting set up, but it's coming together really well. But my pickups for that, I ended up trading Disney Gargoyles and an extra copy of Sonic and Knuckles that I had. Ended up picking up Zombies Ate My Neighbors with the original manual and the cartridge disc, no box, so I will be looking for that. I did see it on eBay, but some guy was asking like $15 just for the box alone. So if anybody happens to have an extra box for this, let me know. I'd probably be interested in getting it from you so that way I can have this complete. The other game I got was not complete. It's missing the manual, but has the box, and it's in pretty good shape. Phantasy Star 2, which I'm happy. I love the Phantasy Star games. This is the first one I've actually gotten on the Genesis for really decent prices. Most of them go for anywhere between $25 to $35, $40, even loose. There's actually a store that I ran into who had a copy of the first, second, and third game for the Genesis. They were loose, but he was all asking anywhere between $25 and almost $40 for it with just the cartridge. And the labels were all tearing off, and they weren't in great shape, and it was really disappointing. So that's what I got from the swap meet. Another fun pickup that I got, and I may have to push the camera back for this, so we're going to try this out a bit. It was the the crossover Project Cross Zone from GameStop, but it's a huge poster. Check this out. Just, God, huge. Yeah. So I have that, and that'll be hung up somewhere. Some fun little game memorabilia that you don't often see. Moving on from there. This is kind of an odd one. I found this at a store. The employees weren't sure if it was even a licensed game. The case and everything looks legit. It's really old. And it doesn't follow the standard Genesis designs that they normally have. Like they would have the Sega Genesis at the bottom, and it would be in kind of a L shape or up at the top. This has it at the top, but it doesn't look legit. It's by a company called DreamWorks, which I haven't really heard too much about. It has the official Sega seal, but it's called Wings of War. It's a shoot-'em-up game. You can see here is the Sega symbol, and here's the Sega Genesis logo at the top. It looks out of place, but I mean it looks kind of cool. An archangel here with a demon or something. There's the backside, just unusual. And the other strange thing, it does have the manual on it. But the cartridge itself is just a black and white cartridge. There's no art on it or anything. Just I haven't really seen any like this, and people were even wondering if it was legit. But it came out in 1991, so printed in Japan. It's a shoot-'em-up game. I've seen a few YouTube videos about it. It's actually a pretty good game. Music is kind of different, but overall, it's kind of fun. You play as a little archangel guy shooting balls of fire at enemies and all that stuff. But kind of interesting. So if you find this, it might be up your alley, especially if you're a shmup fan. And I've got a few more too. You'll see here in a little bit. Some more current gem that I picked up. I got the collector's edition of Shin Megami Tensei 4. It comes with the art book, the soundtrack, and the game itself. You can still easily get that. And then I ended up picking up, getting into the shmup stuff. Here's the Gradient collection for the PSP. And then this is a game I rented. I had a little fun, but I never really finished it, and I found it for a really cheap price. Afro Samurai, nothing special, but good little beat-em-up game. I also got some more Dreamcast games, which are great. Tokyo Extreme Racer, Ready to Rumble 2, the original, since I picked up the second one already. And Tomb Raider: The Last Revelations. And I haven't really gotten too much into the Tomb Raider games in the past, so I think this is the only one available for the Dreamcast. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. But I think this is also the last Tomb Raider game that they kind of made for that time before they came out with a new reboot. So hopefully I'll get around to playing that a little bit. I also found a really neat store online. And I don't have it with me on one of them, but I did find the case for that Rocket Knight Adventures that I was missing. And I got that for a good deal. I also ended up picking up Altered Beast from him. And this is a guy, too, who was at Midway Classic in Milwaukee, and I ended up finding his website and grabbing this. But he had nearly, at the time of the convention, he had 20 copies of this game, brand new, sealed, and he was asking about $20 for them, which is a really great deal. Even though the game itself is not all that great, it is a fighting game, Cosmic Carnage. And I have it wrapped here because this is actually the last copy he had that was opened. So he's only asking $7 for this. But it's complete in the box, manual and everything. I mean, it pretty much looks like he took the sealed copies he had, opened it up, and then decided to sell it for, a quarter of the price. But if you're kind of interested in this game and you want it new, he has about 10 copies left that are still sealed. So if you're looking for that, send me an instant message. I'll let you know because I know some people might be watching this and, yeah. So I'll share that with you guys. No problem. I've got some more of these. Recently, my friend Matt has been getting a little addicted to the game hunt stuff. So he's been having a little more time and managed to find some really great things for me. So thank you, Matt, for watching this. I will get to some of the other ones he found for this month. Or next month, being that this is for July. So August, and you'll get some more credit here. But he ended up picking me up Forgotten Worlds, another shmup game. And this actually is a game that I had loose. It was actually one of the first Sonic the Hedgehog games I started for my collection way back when I was in high school. I got it from a kid for about $5, and I actually paid it all in pennies. But he didn't have it complete, the box was in bad shape, and I didn't have the manual, so, but I played the hell out of that game. So, coming across this, I was really excited. I did get it's an expensive game, it's kind of uncommon, so paying the price that I did, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I paid roughly $42 with it. They gave me kind of a little discount on it because it was a retro game, but I ended up finding a complete copy, thanks to Matt, for Knuckles Chaotix. So, nice cardboard box, game, manual, original stuff, all in it. Great condition. So, now I have an extra copy of Knuckles Chaotix that I can try to pawn off, actually, which I did bring with me to the swap meet, but nobody was really interested in it. So, that was kind of a bummer. This next group is probably the biggest haul I've had in a long time. This was a Craigslist deal that I found. Drove up to Kenosha, Wisconsin to pick up. Costed me a pretty penny, but overall there's about 15 games that I found. So roughly they're about $10 a piece, a little bit under that. A lot of great gems I'm really excited about. The first one I ended up picking up was Sunset Riders. Greg actually has this in his arcade, if you've seen some of his videos. A fun game, 4-person shooter, one that I kind of enjoy. Unfortunately, the Genesis version, you only get to choose between 2 of the players, Billy and Carmondo, I think it was what his name was. I don't even know if from the back here it tells you. No, it doesn't. But you only play 2 out of the 4, and it's not as good, definitely not as good as the arcade. There's no real visual or voices, and it's the first boss after you shoot him in the arcade version. He goes, "Bury me with my money." And here they just give you a little, just a little speech bubble that says it. And you see his mouth move, but there's no actually voice to him. So it's really disappointing. It does have 2-player co-op. But again, only being able to choose the 2 out of the 4, it's kind of disappointing. The graphics aren't that great, but it's in great condition. And what I find funny about these, all the stack of games here in particular, the person told me that they had them stored in the basement and just never played them anymore. But they kept them all in really great condition, other than a little layer of dust on them. But the boxes had hardly been used. And inside, actually, a lot of them had the original manuals, like here's a registration card. A couple of them have even the original receipts from when they bought them, which was kind of interesting to see what they paid for back in 1994 or 1991 for these. Like for the next one, actually, I had this game too already, but not complete. Toe Jam and Earl. And inside, it's got the original receipt, but he paid... I'm not going to show you the receipt because it does have some credit card numbers on it. It was from Babbage's. Here, he actually put down some money. Original price was $49.99, and this was dated August 20th, 1992. So he paid, it looks like he put $5 down. He paid, or $10, paid $44.99 after that discount. So it's just kind of interesting. And here again, here's the original poster for Sonic the Hedgehog, and just had some information on different games coming out. Showed you screenshots, registration card, some patents. I don't know, something strange, but the cartridge just looks like it's hardly been used. So interesting stuff. Next one I got, another rare one. Here's, well, it does look a little bit different than the Wings of War, but Out of This World, which was, at the time when it came out, I remember hearing some of this when I was a kid. It was more cinematic. I haven't had a chance to play this one yet. It's on my list to get to. There's a ton of games to get through. But kind of cool. And here's at the top, you can see it has that strange Genesis symbol. It does say at the bottom, though, for 16-bit, which Rings of War didn't have. So, yeah. But, again, all original stuff. Hardly used at all. Boxes are in great shape. One of the hardest games I've ever come across. Very difficult to play. Original Ghouls and Ghosts. Which, I like the game, but it is one of the most difficult ones I've ever come across. Another fun one. If you remember from last month, I ended up grabbing Earthworm Jim 2 for the Sega Saturn. So I was hunting for the first one, and in this group, I happened to have it. It was one of the reasons why I ended up grabbing this group. But here's Earthworm Jim 1 for the Sega Genesis. So nothing real special. This does have a pull-out poster here. I'm not sure if this is an Earthworm Jim poster. Yes, it is. No. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, I'll show you some of that. Nothing on the back. Let's see how this turns out. But yeah, here's Earthworm Jim. Woo! Big poster. Just may or may not hang that one up. But kind of a cool find. I mean, I didn't even know a poster existed for this game. Sure, now I'm having a hard time actually getting this in. There we go. Doo-doo. Alright. On to some more current than Genesis, anyway. Another game I already had. Again, not complete. This has got the box kind of beat up. Looks like it's kind of been crushed for a while, but here's the original Sewer Shark. And its original box, cardboard. Yeah. Sony game. Everybody knows this one. Unfortunately, this is not the first print, so it's not the more sought-after version of it. But here's Night Trap, second printing with the rated M mature rating after they did the ESRB stuff. Yeah, complete. Just kind of a strange box. But I now have Night Trap, which I didn't have before. Next one, Afterburner 3 for the Sega CD, original box. Another great one I was excited to find, because this one usually goes for anywhere between 25, 30 online, especially complete, it's even more. But Final Fight for the Sega CD. I love Final Fight games. I still like Streets of Rage a little bit better, but for this being another close beat 'em up and kind of Street Fighter related in a way, since both Cody and Guy show up and Hagar show up in the Street Fighter games later on. So, fun game. This I haven't really seen this one in the wild at all. I've heard about the original one. I see the original one all the time. I don't really have it yet either, or maybe I do. Spoiler. But it's Lethal Enforcers 2. Complete in box. Again, really great shape. I swear, these haven't seen the light of day in probably years. And it's even got the foam insert on the inside of it even. Which is cool. I don't have the gun for these. Or do I? Another one, Mad Dog McGree. It's okay. I mean, your typical shooter. Next one is Sylphie. Another uncommon one. I don't see often, or usually when I do, it's in horrible shape. The Amazing Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. So, that's a cool one. I always love those Spider-Man games. Oh boy. Really crappy game. Yeah, I don't know why. It was horrible. Cliffhanger. Yeah. This is kind of unusual. I see this one going for quite a lot. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's the original in the trilogy at the time. And I think it came out later in the Sega CD's life. And that's Mortal Kombat, the original. Which I kind of find interesting. On this version, if you can see, the dragon design actually has a CD for it. So, kind of to represent the Sega CD, I guess. I'm not sure. But kind of cool stuff. And, you know, who hasn't played Sega CD? And this one looks like it has a receipt in it, too. Let's see. What did you pay? Whoa. May 26th, 1994. $52.74. So even back then, games were pretty expensive. They haven't really gone up much, it seems. I mean, if you compare most games these days, we're $49.99 up to $59.99. So, pretty cool stuff. Actually, that's about it for this month. That's a lot of games. I have a lot of games to play through. So, we'll see how it goes. Kind of hoping it goes pretty easily. Anyway, that's it for this month. I think all 18 to 20 of you guys who watch these for watching this. So hopefully I'll have some more stuff going on, and we'll do another Explore This later on. And next month is shaping up to be pretty good too, with a lot of little gems. I'm already starting in on that. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you're interested. I'm willing to talk to anybody about this stuff, especially if you notice it's all Sega. So, anyway, till next time, we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.